Have you ever imagined being trapped in minus 40 degrees Celsius snow, all alone, injured, hungry, and thirsty, for 3 days straight? This is a true story of a 16-year-old boy whose strength, patience, and hope helped him survive where many would have given up. It was a bitterly cold night in January. In a remote snowy region of Siberia, 16-year-old Alexei Petrov was out with his father collecting firewood from a nearby forest. This was their daily routine: to chop wood, load it, and sell it in the town to make a living. But destiny had other plans that day. As evening fell, a powerful snowstorm swept through the forest. Fierce winds, deep darkness, and freezing temperatures covered everything. Their horse lost control, and the cart full of wood slipped and fell into a deep ravine. Alexei lost consciousness. When he opened his eyes, he was alone. His body was bruised, his arm fractured, and his limbs frozen stiff. Around him was only snow, howling wind, and silence. He screamed, "Papa, Papa," but no reply came. Now he had only one choice: survive. Alexei slowly pushed snow aside and crawled under the roots of a tree for shelter. He had no food, no water, and no fire, but his mind was alert. He gathered snow in his coat and melted it with body heat to drink. For hours, he rubbed sticks together until he finally created a small fire. That tiny flame became the light of his life. By the next morning, Alexei knew he couldn't stay in one place. He tied his broken arm with his torn shirt and began walking barefoot over sharp ice and deep snow. Every step sent pain through his body, but he refused to give up. Along the way, he found a frozen rabbit. He cooked it over his little fire and ate, the first wild food of his life. His mother's words echoed in his mind. "Alexei, never give up. You're stronger than you think." That sentence kept him alive. On the third night, he found a cave and slept there. It was the longest night of his life. By the third day, his body began shutting down. He looked to the sky and whispered, "Please, help me." Suddenly, he heard a faint voice in the distance. "Is anyone there?" He shouted back. He fell, got up again, and screamed with all the energy he had left. A rescue team, sent after his father reported him missing, had found him half buried in snow, barely alive. Doctors said, "This boy is a miracle. No normal person survives in such conditions." But it wasn't just a miracle, it was a victory of courage, patience, and hope. When Alexei was brought to the hospital, his body was frostbitten, his arm was broken, and his feet were severely injured. Doctors said, a few more hours in the snow, and he would not have made it. But he survived. Lying in a hospital bed, his eyes sparkled with the light of life. His battle had only just begun. Recovery wasn't easy. The cold had damaged several parts of his body, especially his feet. Doctors feared they might need to amputate one leg, but Alexei refused. "I will run again," he said with quiet determination. He endured long days of painful physiotherapy, medication, and treatments. His mother never left his side, whispering, "You are our prayer, our miracle." While his body began healing, a deeper struggle took root: his mind. At night, Alexei would wake up screaming, haunted by flashbacks of being trapped in snow, alone and afraid. But he made a promise to himself: "I will turn this pain into strength. I will teach others how to survive." That became his mission. As his story spread through media, headlines called him the miracle boy of Siberia, the teen who defeated frozen death. TV channels invited him, newspapers printed his journey, and strangers asked for his autograph. But Alexei always said, "I'm not a hero. I just believed in my mother's words. Never give up." 2 years later, he gave his first speech in a school. Life isn't easy. Sometimes you face snowstorms, sometimes silent nights, and sometimes memories that burn. But if you're alive inside, no storm outside can break you. People cried. Children clapped. And that day, Alexei found his purpose: to give hope to others. Today, Alexei is a motivational speaker. His speeches reach millions on YouTube. And when someone asks, "What's your greatest achievement?" he smiles and says, "Surviving that night in the snow. That was my real victory." Alexei had recovered physically and mentally, but he realized that his true mission wasn't just surviving, it was teaching others how to live. As he began speaking in schools and colleges, students saw more than just a survivor. They saw living proof that no storm in life is stronger than the human will. After one of the speeches, a teenage boy came up to him and said, "Sir, I was thinking of ending my life. But after hearing you, I want to live. You saved me." That day, Alexei understood the true purpose of his pain. It was saving lives now. Soon, Alexei wrote a book about his journey titled 3 Days in Snow, A Fight for Life. The book became an international bestseller. Later, a documentary based on his life was released on Netflix and BBC. He received the Global Youth Resilience Award from the United Nations and was invited to global stages like TEDx, Harvard Youth Forum, and the World Survival Summit. Despite the fame and recognition, Alexei remained humble. He often said, "My real success is not awards. It's when someone tells me, 'You changed my life.' That is my true reward." Driven by a bigger vision, Alexei launched the Survival Academy, a place where young people are taught not only how to survive in the wilderness, but how to overcome depression, failure, and fear in life. The first academy opened in Kazakhstan, and many more followed across the world. One day, during an interview, a reporter asked him, "What would your life be like if that accident never happened?" He smiled and replied, "Maybe I would have stayed a simple woodcutter. But that frozen night gave me purpose. Without it, I would have remained lost from within." Alexei's journey is not just about survival. It's a message to all of us.